Ad paid for by Marjan Philhour for Supervisor 2020. Financial disclosures are available at sfethics.org.
So going to try to keep this on time. So this year we have taken a giant leap forward in terms of awareness and movement towards equity for all. As we all know, that awareness has largely been spurred by the Black Lives Matter movement in the wake of a series of murders this year, including but not limited to both George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. And then also the disproportionate impact of the pandemic of COVID-19 on Black and Brown people throughout this country. At the city level here in San Francisco, there is a racial equity office that's focused on doing this work that was opened by Mayor Lyndon Breed. And there's also the Opportunities for All program and the Racial and Social Equity Initiative. But here, bringing it back to the Richmond, to the neighborhood level, the survey revealed that equity is important for everyone in our community, which is great to hear. And specifically, equitable access to COVID-19 resources are of top concern. So that includes being notified of programs for people who've been laid off or lost income due to COVID, including programs like deferred payments for water, power, recology bills. There's also been a lot of confusion about the residential eviction moratorium and how to navigate this with landlords. Quick anecdote there on like how Marjan would operate as a supervisor. She actually helped out one of my friends navigate this at the onset of the pandemic with her landlord. It was incredibly helpful. In addition to what people are concerned about in the community, providing resources to disproportionately impacted communities, specifically the Latinx community was noted in the survey. And then also the difficulty applying for and receiving unemployment benefits. So some people had noted that they had to wait over 3 months for a response from the California Employment Development Department, the department that handles unemployment. And outside of the survey, this is actually something that I've heard personally as well from multiple people who've had this experience. And it's actually something I can't fathom, especially, waiting 3 months on benefits at this time of greatest need. So how can our District 1 supervisor work to make the Richmond more equitable given these concerns? The top 3 solutions which surfaced in the survey were: 1, working with both the San Francisco Police Department and the District Attorney's Office to address rising anti-Asian hate crimes in the wake of COVID-19. Second was that everybody thinks that community input is very vital. So conducting consistent and meaningful community outreach when it comes to neighborhood changes, like implementing slow streets, deciding which bus lines, modes of transit to reopen, et cetera. And then also building homes for families. 100%, every single survey respondent on the issue of equity said equitable housing options like multifamily and affordable housing are a top priority for them. So these solutions really boiled down to the supervisor in charge, which will hopefully be Marjan starting in January, adopting a community-centered approach and acknowledging the diversity of our neighborhood. That includes prioritizing community engagement, communication, and empowerment within the micro communities within the Richmond District neighborhood. So if programs exist and neighbors don't know about them, or there are accessibility issues such as like language barriers, et cetera, that's a huge problem because that means neighbors can't access those resources, and that is an issue of equity. So creating feedback loops within those micro communities, being plugged into them, focusing on accessibility and approaching community issues with the lens of equity is critical, especially when it comes to issues of housing, education, health, and employment. These issues all need to be viewed as the equity issues that they are. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Marjan.